So who am I and why are you watching this video? Great way to start out, isn't it? My name is Christopher D. Connors. I'm the author of the new book, The Value of You. And for my email subscribers here and for those of you following on YouTube, I wanted to just share a little bit more about my background and tell a little bit more about who I am and what kind of led me to this point of wanting to write a book about core values. And ultimately, when I decided to write this book, the book was based on a variety of things that I'd learned in my personal and my professional life that led me to believe that in order to live the life that I truly wanted to live, I needed to build a foundation on constant core values that will stay the same as life continues to change around me. And I started to research the marketplace a little bit more, and the more that my writing evolved and the more I started building up a larger following online, the more I realized, there aren't a lot of people out there writing about values. And I realized that in the abstract, it can be a very ordinary topic. But because of the things that give me excitement and enthusiasm in my life, I decided to start venturing a little bit more into the lives of some famous people and making sense of stories of maybe lesser known people and even some of my own stories, and realizing just how much inspiration and passion and emotion there were in talking about values. And I've realized that, when I've been able to connect with people online, that there's a market for that. And it led me to want to write this book. And it's something that, as I work with people in the coaching that I do and in the consulting that I've done throughout my career, and as I've turned that into being a much more active writer and now author, I started to realize that in order to really move forward, we all need a base. We all need a structure of something. And to me, that's based on the things that are the constants and the things that we can always fall back on and rely on throughout our lives. And for me, those things are values. And so for me, the value of you is in some ways some stories throughout my life, but it's through lessons that I've learned both personally and professionally. I had the great fortune of growing up in a very loving family in Long Island, on the South Shore of Long Island, in a town called Rockville Center, just outside of New York City. And the foundation that I had with my mother, father, and two older brothers as people that loved me dearly and taught me so much about life and about great music and sports. I learned a lot about competition, what it truly meant to love and be a part of a loving family. I grew up in a very Christian household and a great Catholic family where my mom instilled in me the value of faith, not just a belief in God, but a belief in myself and a belief in the people around me. I grew up with a lot of inspirational things and sports messaging and the desire to, feel empowered to be the person that I wanted to be. So I talk a lot about hope as well. Grew up with kindness and was taught to self-respect myself. Grew up with a lot of humility about, believing that in order to do something really great in life that I had to put in hard work. And these are all these values that I just continued to keep finding common threads with, and I started to tell more stories about people who I've observed throughout history that have lived these values, and I wanted to be able to connect that for you. And so when I talk about, well, who am I and who am I, Christopher D. Connors, as an author and as someone that is really trying to make a difference in this world, at my core, I want to help you. I want to be able to help you live a life on your terms. I'm not here to tell you that I don't want you to make mistakes. As I put forward in this book, I want you to make mistakes, and I think as Brene Brown, the well-known author of the book Rising Strong and many other great bestsellers would say to you, we're all going to fall on our face. We're going to fall on our butts and get kicked down, and oftentimes the adversity of that is the absolute best medicine for us. I want you to make mistakes, and I want you to learn that in order to get back up, and to get back up every time, you have to have a fire in your belly. You have to be willing to be persistent and to keep persevering throughout the course of your life. The way to keep getting up and the way to keep rising every time is by building a foundation on core values. But you're going to need a lot more than just values. You're going to need a plan to get there and to live the life that you want on your terms. And so I graduated from Hobart College. I attended graduate school at the University of Georgia. Most of my professional career has been in management consulting and leading large-scale program management initiatives for government organizations and Fortune 500 companies. And I've used my background both as a professional and as a former college athlete and as someone who coaches basketball and loves to bring out the best in other people, I've intertwined all of those things to create a personal game plan for you in terms of building a life on values and putting that into action to truly live the life of your dreams and to live life on your terms. And so I am so excited to share this book, The Value of You, with you. I'm truly grateful that you're a part of this journey with me, and I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I want to hear more about your story, because hearing about your story is part of what gives me hope and gives me inspiration to keep going and keep putting myself out there and writing and hopefully writing more books and continuing to live the life that I've really promised to myself, based on the definition of success that I wrote for myself and the goals that I've put together for myself. So I'm so excited to share this with you. Again, my name is Christopher D. Connors. Welcome aboard here on the Live Boldly newsletter and on YouTube, and I look forward to sharing much more with you throughout the course of the next several years. Thanks for being a part of this journey with me.